Living with any chronic illness can be exceptionally challenging, but with a solid support system in place and determination, an individual can still do anything they want to do and be anything they want to be. An example of such an individual is Nylan Pozzo, who was diagnosed with diabetes type 1 at the age of 2. How do you think having diabetes has affected your lifestyle?
It hasn't been incredibly cumbersome in my adult years, but when I was younger, it certainly required some sacrifices. Um, there would be instances in which I wouldn't be able to I'd have to limit my sugar intake at birthday parties, things like that. But into my adult years, it's been a little bit easier as I've become more responsible.
And being so young, was it difficult when you first got diagnosed to really understand what was necessary for your treatment?
It was certainly for my parents, not just for me, but through organizations like the Canadian Diabetes Association, that kind of information was available, and through medical professionals. And as a result, it made the transition to overtaking the care and the management of the diabetes a little bit easier.
What are some of the challenges that you think you've faced or that have arisen because of this illness?
Um, some of the challenges would be just in the day-to-day management, not knowing if you're going to have a low or a high blood sugar, and trying to ensure that you are maintaining your blood sugar levels would be the most difficult, and that requires day-to-day management and responsibility. And I find that the more you accept that it is going to be a day-to-day thing, the easier it is to manage it and become more responsible for it.
And you are an athlete. You've played sports growing up and hockey as well. Did you ever find that a challenge with having to deal with your blood sugar levels?
There were challenges inherent with that, but like you mentioned before, having a support system in place has really helps with that, and really ensures that, you know, if you have people around you that will help you, assist you in your management, that you're not going to miss out on anything.
And you've had it for over 20 years now. At that point, sometimes people are starting to see some long-term effects of the illness.
Right.
Has that happened to you?
I've been very lucky that I haven't had any long-term complications, but and I would attribute that to my management and the management of my parents and my peers, those around me that have really been helpful in that process. And I think that if I continue to be responsible and continue to have their support, that I'll be able to avoid those.
What are some misconceptions that you find people have with diabetes?
The biggest misconception would be to do with sugar intake. People think you can't have any sugar, or that having sugar is a big problem, when it's more than that. Diabetes is a very, very complex illness, and there's a lot more to it than just simply sugar intake. So that would be the biggest misconception. But I spent a lot of time trying to inform people, that certainly people that are curious about it, about diabetes.
Janie Bringleson is with the Canadian Diabetes Association. What exactly is the association and what services do they offer?
The Canadian Diabetes Association offers services to people living with diabetes, at risk of developing diabetes, and their families and caregivers. We provide services for education, advocacy, information and referral. We do not provide any direct health care, but we do refer to direct health care providers in the city.
Laura is one of the volunteers with the Canadian Diabetes Association. How long have you been volunteering with the association?
It's over 12 years now. I find it very rewarding and satisfying.
And how did you get involved with volunteering with them?
Originally, I was working as a diabetes educator and was volunteering, and then my daughter got diagnosed with diabetes type 1. So it became more of a personal issue as well as professional.
And how have you stayed with the association? Why do you keep coming back and spending your time volunteering with them?
I think it's a very important disease. It's a chronic disease that needs to be helped managed. Unfortunately, my daughter passed away from complications of her diabetes, and so I don't want to see that happen to others. So I try to get the word out and raise enough money that we can fight this disease till we have a cure.
There are many cases like Nylan's throughout our community that prove you can thrive with a chronic illness. Reporting for Shaw TV, I'm Jasmine Pozzo.